Last week, we witnessed the Eagles suffer a disappointing home loss to the Sharks.
Here's Anderson. He strings the three and compounds the woe for the Newcastle fans.
Well, tonight they go again as they host their high-flying adversaries from the capital. There's no doubt about it, taming the Lions is going to be a tall order.
We are about to bring fire.
Lobs up the alley-oop! Thrown down by Kelly. Derek Williams in the corner. Steps back. Hits the three. Johnson for three. Corey Johnson. Here's Defoe rolling to the basket. And this one's up here in Newcastle.
We're live once again from the Virtue Motors Arena for Newcastle against London, and it's their first meeting since last season's playoff final. And that was a game that the man right next to me remembers very well indeed. Drew Lasker, part of that Eagles team that took down London in the playoff final. The man alongside him didn't land a playoff final, but racked up over 100 caps for Team GB and an MBE. So pretty good going, nevertheless. You definitely take that. Good to see you both. Kieran, how tough a spot is this tonight for Newcastle, given the form the Lions have been in this season?
You literally couldn't ask for a tougher spot. You know, the Lions are really flying at both ends of the court, playing some great offense, great defense, and they're also flying the flag for us in Europe in the Euro Cup. So they're playing at a really, really high level. They
are going great guns. Conversely, Eagles are having a disappointing start to the season, I think it's fair to say, and that's unfamiliar territory for them, isn't it, Drew?
Yeah, the Eagles are the most winningest BBL franchise, and right now they're off a slow start at 3-9. They're worse since '95. I've been telling people not to panic, but if they don't turn it around quick, fast, in a hurry, I'm going to get them to push that red button.
So week on week, because we were here last week and saw them against the Sharks, and it wasn't a pretty sight by any stretch. What would you hope to see, the fundamentals you hope to see changed week on week in terms of performance?
Well, just the attention of detail. You talk about the Sharks. They were able to get a wide open layup off a jump ball, which is unacceptable. They do that tonight against London, and it's going to be a long night.
All right, then. Well, busy old night in the BBL this week. Unlike last week, of course, where it was an international weekend. 8 out of the 10 teams in action tonight, including the Riders. Top of the table, they take on the Glasgow Rocks. Surrey and Glasgow both play again on Saturday. 3 more games on Sunday, including the West Country Derby between Bristol and Plymouth. And a very interesting game in London as the Lions host the Giants. We'll be in Manchester next week into that to see Dan Clark and co in action. Leicester, top of the table after their 4-0 start. Last weekend they beat Surrey and Sheffield, who are sitting third. London, well, they're the only other unbeaten team in the Championship. Manchester, they've got 4 wins from 6. The Eagles now 2-2 after that loss to the Sharks last Friday. Plymouth and Surrey at the bottom, yet to secure a win after their first 3 games. And that good start to the season for Leicester and London is reflected in the latest BBL monthly awards.
Oh my goodness! Crandall to the spin. Oh man!
I can't hear you! Hey, 0!
Gino Crandall, the reigning MVP, of course. Is there an argument, Kieran, to suggest he's playing even better this year than he was last year?
Definitely. You know what? I keep forgetting about Gino. You know, we just expect it from him now. We're always focused on the new players, but the way he's shooting the ball right now from 3 as well, that's a scary sight for everybody. You know, if he can continue to get that consistent jump shot, I mean, he's unstoppable.
Year on year, that is something that is trending up. How would you compare, looking at Coach McCauley as the coach of the month, how would you compare the way he's built this Lions side this time around compared to last season? Because, Drew, of course, everybody was saying the same thing last year. They're built to win it all. It's an all-star lineup, but it seems fundamentally different this year.
Well, it's very simple. Last year, they tried to buy a championship. This year, they're building a championship. That plain and simple.
Well, last year was a mixed bag, I think, for London. They did manage to win it all, but they did, of course, have success winning the trophy, runners-up in the league as well. The playoff final, they came pretty close to that one as well, but ultimately they went down to Drew's Eagles side. Let's remind ourselves of that game.
It's the playoff final. It is the Lions and the Eagles. Nice pass. Fletcher to Defoe for 2. Gordon on the floor and Parker with a hot start here, 6 points. Gordon back out to Maxwell, on to Sayers on the near side, and same result.
Some good basketball there. The Newcastle Eagles were very patient.
Lobbed up to Maxwell! Williams now. Williams all the way. Here's Sayers, loads of time and space, all good! Pressure is high, here's Liggins, ties the game at 64! Fletcher misses, the ball is loose, it's going to be a heap to win it! No, Newcastle Eagles have won! The Newcastle Eagles have won the playoffs! Incredible scenes here in Leicester! Well, they are the champions once again.
I'm now. Last week I wasn't sure. Now I'm certain we're going to be getting that footage in every week.
That's what I was thinking. We're going to show it every week since Drew's joined the team. Every single week.
What a coincidence. It's one of the newer rivalries in the BBL, isn't it? But it is also one of the most feverish. What's it like playing in a big game like that against the Lions?
Well, I mean, watching that VT right there, I'm just feeling really emotional. You know, it's great to have the opportunity to play in those big games. When you're playing a team like the London Lions, you know you're going to have to fight and claw for everything that you get. So I look for that to happen tonight as well.
I bet you do. There are some changes to the roster, some continuity as ever with this Newcastle side. In terms of the former Corey Johnson, a new recruit this season, he won the title with Leicester last season. Wesley Person, he's the guy they brought in after the injury to Matt Scott. He's going to be starting tonight. And as we saw last Friday, former Lion Brandon Peel is a class act. He played it in London for 3 seasons between 2017 and 2020. The vets, including Darius Defoe, very much torchbearers of that winning mentality. So is Ramon Fletcher, the 2-time MVP. Another new recruit, the 6'10" centre Duke Shelton, a.k.a. the Duke of Newcastle. He showed his worth last week against Sheffield. A 14-point, 14-rebound return, one of the bright spots for the Eagles. Drew, I'm interested when we talk about that veteran locker room presence, how that plays out, because you were very much in that role the last couple of years in Newcastle. We see Fletcher and Defoe in the mix now. What does coach expect from the vets in terms of setting the tone in the locker room?
Yeah, it's accountability. The greatest teams I've been on has been the players that have been able to police the locker room, because the coach can't be everywhere. So it's great to have that veteran leadership in the locker room.
Okay, we're going to take a closer look at a couple of the new recruits in that Eagles locker room who are doing exactly that, trying to settle in and understand the coach's mentality.
My name is Duke Shelton. Corey Johnson, playing the power forward, center position, shooting guard, Newcastle Eagles. Newcastle Eagles. Aggressive, athletic, tenacious.
Alley-oop and thrown in by Shelton.
My game in 3 words: aggressive, dedicated, hard worker.
Ready?
Oh, I wasn't supposed to start? So I did a sniper scope. It's my name, Six Snipe, on Instagram. I'm a shooter for one, precise with everything I do, just like a sniper. Gotta be on point.
But Johnson fires the 3. Johnson hits the 3.
That's money signs. To me, you know, if you're talking money, I'm all ears. I'm going to listen. I feel like money is a tool, you know, to operate in the society the way you want to, you know. Follow your own heart. Follow your own mind. Stay ready so you don't got to get ready. At the end of the day, I feel like you know what's best for you. I love, but I fight harder. I'd say I'm a lover still. From Canada, you know, CLB, Drake. Got that vibe. I got a bunch, honestly. Gotta be some Kodak Black. The go-to for me is always Future. Too comfortable.
You have to pick a song, what would it be?
Dirty K.
And how's that go?
I got a song with Post Malone, but I ain't heard it yet. I be hoping one day he release it. I be wishing I can keep my freedom. Must be something wrong with me, cause I can't keep my friend. That's it, man. For me, it's not embarrassing. It's Adele, Set Fire to the Rain. Banana Pancakes, Jack Johnson.
How's that go?
Making banana pancakes. Maybe we could spend some time. That's all I'm gonna give you right now.
I don't dance. I kind of just two-step and, you know, just do what I like to do.
Billy Rock.
More genies. I wish for more genies. I would keep my wishes coming.
Probably just like end world hunger or something like that. Something to help a lot of people.
And if I couldn't wish for that, I just wish to be happy for the rest of my life.
You've got to get some Christmas karaoke going. While watching that, I'm getting in the mood. What is the most embarrassing song on the Drew Lasker playlist?
Baby, hit me one more time. Britney Spears.
Oh, wow.
I can't believe you went there and sung it as well. Massive respect for that. Love that. Right, let's look at some of these Newcastle players in a bit more detail. There's the Duke. Athletic, aggressive and tenacious. That's how he described himself. How's he developing, Kieran, within this Eagles side?
By being athletic and tenacious, he's definitely up there. He brings so much energy. He's a walking double-double, complete hype man. He's a great addition to the team.
Corey Johnson, there's no doubt about his talent, of course, but would you like to see him more involved, influencing games more, Drew?
Yeah, as the Eagles' leading scorer, I was a little bit disappointed last week with only 7 tough shot attempts. So I look for Ian McLeod to get more creative with the sets to shake Corey Johnson free.
Ramon Fletcher, inevitably, Kieran, people are asking, why is this guy one of the best in the league, a 2-time MVP, who was sensational again last season, let's not forget. Why is he struggling to recapture his typical form? Why do you think we're not seeing the best of Fletch?
Well, to start off with, he's not shooting the ball very well from three-point range. He was a 40% three-point shooter last year. He's down at 10% this year. But there's a lot of frustration on his face right now. I think there's a lot more going on that we need to kind of address to kind of get that team dynamic going.
Darius DeVoe, another vet in this Eagles locker room, had a huge game last week, and Coach Mack says that they want to get him the basketball more. It's interesting, though, at this phase of his career, he should be typically, I guess, looking at reduced minutes and having more of an impact that way, but he's got a lot on his shoulders right now, Drew.
Yeah, in year 18, you think he would be taking on a mentorship role, but he's the second best player according to the stats, proving that he has a lot of sand left in that hourglass.
Brandon Peele, a player that you said is incredibly hard to handle, incredibly hard to defend, Kieran. Why? What makes him such a handful?
He's just a glue guy. You know, he does all the little things, the big deflection, the big offensive rebound, the put back. He does it all, and that's so hard to guard when a lot of players are not ran for him, but he still finds a way to score.
Now, last time we heard from Coach McLeod, in the immediate aftermath of the defeat to the Sharks, he was pretty frustrated, understandably. Let's find out how he's viewing tonight's game.
Coach McLeod, great memories we share from the last time you faced the Lions in last season's playoff final. What did that win mean for you?
I think it saw. I think it saw to both of us what it meant right after that buzzer. I think it's important now that we don't remember that for the next few hours, because I'm pretty sure London will be. And generally, when you win it, you got to flush it quickly and move on to the next one. But an incredible moment, no doubt. Hopefully, there's more of those ahead.
And London have got off to a great start this season. Has it been good to see them waving the flag for the country in the European competition?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I'm in contact with Vince after every game in London, you know, whether it's, well, it's not much commiserations, actually. It's usually well done, great job. So, no, for sure, supporting those guys. They're doing a great job for British basketball.
And how can the Eagles take down this juggernaut Lions team tonight?
Execute. I think we proved last year we were a big game team. You know, we want to add some consistency to that, of course, but we got a lot of experience in there, and we got some good talent ourselves. And one thing we didn't do last week was execute.
Kieran, details are what I'm hearing a lot. Drew mentioned it at the top. Coach Mack mentioned it just then as well. And last week as well, he talked about the detail they're putting into scouting to pre-game. Talked about how his team was slightly naive at times last week. Is that the big frustration, that what they're putting in theory isn't happening in practice?
Oh, for sure. That inconsistency always, makes a coach insane. You know, they have to really lock into the scouting report and make sure they're holding themselves accountable when they're making those mistakes. All
right, next up we're going to take a closer look at the London Lions and find out the scale of ambition within the organisation.
We've made history every step of the way. The players, I'm so proud of how they've put the effort in to be successful. And I'm also delighted that they're still hungry. We've said we want to be at the top of European basketball in the next 5 years. No one in this country has ever done it before.
Welcome back to Friday Night Basketball here on Sky Sports in Newcastle. Eagles, Lions, and it is a tough ask for the Newcastle Eagles because the London Lions, who we're going to focus on next, the league's best offense, 93 points a game. They've got the league's best defense, allowing just 76 a game. And we figured once again they'd be dangerous this year given the caliber of players they've brought in, the depth of their roster, Kieran. But are you surprised at how quickly and fluently they've gelled?
For sure. You know, their Achilles heel last year was their chemistry. They were so up and down, so inconsistent. This year, they understand their roles. I think it's a lot to do with their veteran leadership, like a Justin Robinson, and then the buy-in from the new players to be a part of this team. It's great to watch.
It is indeed, and there are a number of new recruits alongside a number of older faces, or returning faces, I should say. Jordan Williams, he's added real presence on the boards. The BBL's leading rebounder last season, of course. There's the 7-foot Kyler Kelly as well, proving to be perhaps the most exciting big in the league right now. Brilliant when we saw him a couple of weeks back against Cheshire. Terrific, as Kieran said, to see the two-time MVP Justin Robinson back on the court where he belongs. Dirk Williams continuing to be the scoring powerhouse that he is. And Isaiah Reese has been putting up some impressive numbers too. And that's who we're going to concentrate on first, because he's the floor general that many people tipped. In fact, I think both of you tipped him as your MVP this season.
That's correct.
You did. Leading the BBL in assists, up there with scoring as well. But the numbers only tell you so much. So how have you viewed his overall game so far this season, Drew?
Well, it's obvious. He's one of the most talented point guards in the league with one of the most easiest jobs in the league because he has teammates that are arguably the best at their position, and he's able to force feed those guys and put them in great positions.
Dirk Williams, last time we saw the Lions on Sky against Cheshire, they flew out of the traps and he was right in the thick of it, scored 10 of their first 14 points. No surprise he ranked second in the BBL in scoring right now, Kieran. A lot of the offense runs through this guy.
Yeah, and scoring at an incredible rate. Some really tough shots, but he's also hitting those easy looks. The biggest thing for me right now is, again, he's locked in defensively. He's bought into that, and I think that's a big improvement to his game.
Kyler Kelly, the BBL's leading shot blocker, but as we've already seen this season, Drew, he's far from a one-dimensional player, is he?
Yeah, he's the high flyer. I call him Mr. Windex because anything around the glass he cleans up. He comes from Oregon State as their all-time shot block leader, so the Eagles will have to be cognizant of his presence tonight.
Yeah, indeed they will. Jordan Williams, congratulations incidentally to him. His first Team GB cap. Always going to be hard to join an all-star roster like London and assert yourself, but has he surprised you, Kieran, in how significant a role he's played so far?
He hasn't surprised me, but you know what? I'm so proud. Proud of Jordan Williams. Every situation he ends up in, he just rises to the occasion. He's like a sponge. He's learning every single day, and he's a pleasure to watch.
Lorenzo Cugini. Now, last time we saw the Lions, we didn't spend much time talking about this guy, and Drew, you want to put that to rights, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. He's the glue guy. He makes all this work because he's only averaging 22 minutes, but he's averaging 15 points a game and goes about his business, never complains. You need a guy like that on your team.
Sense as well that you looked at his European experience, or Vince did anyway, and thought he needed to have players like that on the roster who are experienced playing on the continent, because of course London battling on multiple fronts as well as domestically, going so well, as Kieran said, in Europe. It is a tall order to do that, to compete on all of those different levels. So this week, Drew went to find out a little bit more about the Lions setup and how they've built this new all-star roster.
First thing that I noticed is they brought some skill development aspect to their training. I would doubt that there's any BBL team in the league that's running their practices this way. Very forward thinking. I guarantee you is a huge part of their success. 5 years ago, who would have thought that British Basketball League teams would have NBA talent on their roster? The mood in the camp seems very positive. Coach Vince seems very relaxed. Coach Vince, what's up, man? You all right, man?
You all right?
I'm good.
Welcome to London.
It's been great to get behind the scenes, watch your guys in action, and see you in action. How has your role changed this year?
Well, my role this year has changed quite a bit, Drew. I mean, obviously, as you know, I was head cook and chief bottle washer. Previously, there was nothing I didn't do. But now we're at the position where I can just concentrate on coaching. So as a head coach with 5 or 6 assistants working with me, we're able to just sit down and just play basketball, welcome basketball, develop basketball.
Are we seeing the best version of Vince McCauley as head coach?
Well, I hope so. I mean, only the results will tell, I guess.
Who are the London Lions this year?
I think the London Lions that we have this year are very, very hungry. The opportunity was taken away from us last year to compete in Europe. And I think the big thing about who we are is we don't know what our limit is. So we're going to go for everything.
Lockhart in the corner for three. It's good. And a 4-point play for Dre Lockhart.
You guys are off to a great start. You're 10-1 on the season, off to the Cup semifinals with a date with the Leicester Riders, who ironically is your only blemish on your schedule so far this season. Happy with the start?
Oh, delighted with the start. You know, I think you're right. That was the one blemish on our record. Fortunately, it was in a game that didn't matter. I say that from a scores point of view, not from a London versus Leicester point of view.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we know that. I think Leicester knows that. So we have to make our club and our players understand that this is important for us. Not only is it important within the rivalry and who we are in British basketball, but it's important if, as a team, we want to continue to get better.
In the European Cup, you guys advanced to the next round. Do you consider the start a success?
Yeah, definitely a success. I mean, we've made history every step of the way. The players, I'm so proud of how they've put the effort in to be successful. And I'm also delighted that they're still hungry.
What have been the keys to the positive start in the European campaign?
Well, you know, we spent some time together. I think that was critical. We got the guys in early. We had the opportunity to go over to Europe to play some tough games. And that kind of showed us that this wasn't going to be easy. Losing that game in Treviso was a kind of baptism of fire on many fronts. And we all looked at each other in the locker room and said, we don't want to feel like this ever again. And since then, you know, we've been riding that. And I think that's where the chemistry is coming from.
What can this team achieve in Europe?
Well, I don't know. We're in the last 16 of this competition. I believe in my guys. I believe in the talent that we have on the floor. I believe in the work ethic. I think we're getting better at understanding the European game, but no one in this country has ever done it before. So let's just win the next game and see where we go after that.
What else are you hoping to gain from this European experience?
It's about putting London basketball in the forefront in Europe. It's about putting British basketball and the BBL higher into the echelon of things. And then as far as the London Lions ourselves are concerned, we've said we want to be at the top European basketball in the next 5 years. And whatever happens this season in terms of trying to win, we're going to come back stronger again, because the London Lions and what we stand for, we're going to put a stamp on Europe for sure.
Is there one competition you rank above the other?
That's a very tough question. It would be great to win this competition in Europe. I think that would really shatter a lot of people's thoughts on British basketball. But obviously, we're going to be back in this competition again next year. Well, to do that, we've got to win something in the BBL.
Well, they are the champions once again.
Well, you got your first matchup against my Newcastle Eagles. How much does that playoff final play on your mind?
We've lost a number of playoff finals, and that's something we need to change. It was a tough playoff final for us. We were missing a number of guys, most importantly, Justin. And then, of course, we lost Dirk Williams early in the game. Having said that, we still had the last possession. We still had an opportunity to win. So,
and Newcastle's made a change with, ironically, your former player, Brandon Peele. What does he bring to the table?
Brandon's terrific. You know, his intelligence on the floor, the fact he can stretch the floor, even being 6'7", 6'8" at the rim. I mean, I was disappointed to see that he went to you guys, but I'm excited for him and his career.
What's going to be some matchups that we need to look out for?
Well, I mean, obviously, someone's going to have to guard Dirk Williams, right? He's playing the best basketball I've seen from anyone in a very, very long time. The style of play is going to be interesting because, obviously, I know Coach McLeod also wants to shoot the three ball like we do. But also, you know, what happens defensively around the basket? Can the new big man have an impact on Kyler Kelly around the rim? And that could be a decider, too.
Well, you guys are off to a great start this season. We appreciate you allowing us to get behind the scenes to see how this well-oiled organization has been running, and good luck for the rest of the season, Coach.
Thank you, my pleasure.
It was interesting after that interview, and we were chatting about it, and you said it wasn't really like an interview at all, it was more like a conversation.
Yeah, it was easy to talk to Vince, and obviously he's in a great place. He said it on the BT that he's dropped a lot of roles and he can focus strictly on coaching, and it's paying off.
Now, at this stage of proceedings, I normally ask you both to pick out a key individual head-to-head matchup that you're looking forward to, but we're going to move across that and look at the collective, because that's what you think it's all about tonight.
Yeah, one player won't beat the London Lions. It's about the 8th, 9th ranked defense of the Newcastle Eagles getting stops against this number one offense so they can get out and run and get 100 possessions.
What do you think the Eagles need to do defensively to concentrate on to slow down and keep this offense in check?
I think the most important thing they have to focus on straight away is stop containing the drive. You know, London Lions love to shoot the three-point ball. So if the defence overhelps, the only way they're going to overhelp is if they can't stick to one-to-one defence. So they have to stop the drives were happening and be able to stay on their shooters.
All right, let's see if they can pull that off. And they need a strong and fast start as well, because last time out last week, it was far from a pacey beginning for the Newcastle Eagles. And that man will be hoping for something very different this evening. We are getting very close to tip-off here in Newcastle. First off is coming next.
Here's Defoe rolling to the basket, rolling back the years. He's going to back down, spins into a double team, and Kelly with the flush.
Almost ready for tip here in Newcastle. Let's get straight to it and say good evening for the first time to Ant Rowe and Dan Rowledge.
Good evening, Nat. Good evening, everybody. Let's get straight into the team lineups for this game. Anton, beginning with the Newcastle Eagles, and a change in the lineup from the team that we saw last week. Was a person who didn't play a lot in the game last week into the starting lineup.
No, and it's faith from his coach. He's a guy who averages 16 points a game. They're hoping to get a lot more from him tonight than they did 7 days ago.
And if we take a look at the London Lions roster, well, it's been a couple of weeks since they played, but Chris Tawia into the lineup. Kyler Kelly went out of that Surrey game with the shoulder problem. It's heavily strapped. He'll come off the bench today.
Yeah, you take a 7-footer out of the starting lineup, but look, you've got a 6'5" backcourt there, and then everyone else is over 6'8", so they do not give up a lot of size there. Huge starting five.
Well, we've seen Vince McCauley and his team this season at times blow people off the court, and certainly if Newcastle start how they started last week, we might see the same again. They've got to defensively be better than they were in the first quarter against Sheffield.
They were 29-15 down. You do that against this London Lions team, it's all she wrote. They have to have a quick start here. Absolutely imperative.
Well, the 2 5s are out, and we are ready to go here in Newcastle.
BBL basketball on a Friday night, and it is the Eagles and the Lions going head-to-head. Ball is up, and it is the Lions who get the first play of the game. Reese in the corner, looking to go baseline. Tari has good position and eventually gets 2 points on the board.
Well, he had too much time. He had time to bobble the ball 3 or 4 times there before he puts it in the basket, but much improved from last week. Eagles actually ran back on defense this year, and this time it didn't concede an open layup.
Yeah. Much improved might be stretching it, but yeah. Here's Shelton. Spinning back to the hook. Tough shot. And rebound for Williams.
A tough matchup for Shelton because Chris Tower is good 6'9", 6'10", strong unit.
Williams, top of the key, all string.
Wow, Jordan Williams was able to run into that one and shoot it comfortably, nothing but net.
Fletcher going quick, can't convert. Might get his own rebound. That came off a London hand and will be out of bounds for Newcastle possession.
Well, that's what Newcastle Eagles have to do. If they're missing shots early, they have to crash the boards. This is a team that gets the most second chance opportunities in the league, and they have to use that advantage if they're not making shots early.
Here's Fletcher. Person into the paint, floats it up and gets the drop.
That's a really good sign early for Person. Someone who struggled offensively last week. He's been thrust into the starting 5 and he's already repaying his coach with points.
Dirk Williams driving through, and the foul is called on number 44, Ramon Fletcher.
Dirk Williams looking aggressive here. Everyone knows he's capable of. Stellar season for him so far. 21.5 points a game. He's been formidable on the offensive end.
Reese out to Washburn. No way through. Late in the shot clock here for Dirk Williams. Puts it on the floor, spinning to the fall away. Drops it in off the front of the ring, and Drew Lasker's joined us in commentary. Dangerous to see him knocking down shots early on.
Yeah, picking up on Karen and Charles' point, the one-on-one defense for the Newcastle Eagles is going to be important, because who are you going to help off on the London? So they got to take every matchup personally tonight if they're going to be successful.
And here's Person knocking down his second bucket of the game.
Sometimes it just takes one shot down to open those floodgates, and Wesley Person started this game off hot.
Dirk Williams matching him with the heat.
Speaking of hot, Dirk Williams, how many times have we said it already this season? Whether it's on UK soil, European soil, Dirk Williams has been that hot hand.
He never misses, it seems.
Pass a little bit behind Corey Johnson from Brandon Peel against his former team, of course.
This was one of the issues that we saw last week. 5 turnovers at the first quarter. Eagles have to look after the basketball, period. But against a London Lions team that scored 92, 93 points a game, it's absolutely essential they make use of their offense.
Good hand from Peel to steal it away. Away out to Johnson, lobbed up to Shelton. Great fast break from the Newcastle Eagles.
And it starts with the Eagles defense there. Brandon Peel doing what he does best. And a great offensive transition execution here. The dunk finish.
And we all know the Newcastle Eagles love to run. What's a better way to run than running on a steal? As of last week, they were taking out the ball out of the net, letting the defense set up. Great defense by Brandon Peel.
Lions stepping out of bounds, so Newcastle getting the ball back. Here's Fletcher. Working with Shelton, getting it into him. Shelton has his arms ripped away, and he will shoot too.
That's a reputation pump fake. That means is Shelton knows Kyler Kelly's there, and he knows what Kyler Kelly's been doing to all the other big men across the continent. So that pump fake there is to little tester just to see if Kyler Kelly leaves his feet on the fake.
Well, Dan, you're a man for stats. What's the record on pump fakes in one play?
That's got to be a candidate right there. You know you've been pump faking a long time when you're in danger of getting caught for 3 seconds in the key.
He was just willing Kelly to jump at some point. Shelton misses the second. Kelly with the rebound. Reese steps back from deep and strings the three.
Goodness me. Reese has ranged down. All he's done is he's just wedged himself in between the two top guards of that zone and knocked it down.
But if you're Newcastle Eagles, you got to put a hand up, even if it's a late challenge. You got to make an effort to close out to a shooter.
Well, Peel trying to keep it alive. It wasn't helped by Shelton there.
It didn't work out on that occasion, but I really like those two crashing the boards. You're not going to see too many more active front courts than Brandon Peel and Duke Shelton.
There's Reese. Gets it back to Kelly. Kelly dumps it off. Touch passes. Little too hot for Washburn to handle. Here's Peel in transition. Peel all the way. Challenged well by Washburn. And Lions come away with it. Dirk Williams dancing through. That will count for Dirk Williams. He'll go to the line for a bonus.
Just like that. It's a game of margins. A missed layup down one end, and you've got MVP candidate Dirk Williams punishing you down the other end of the floor.
But on the other end, it's about intent. Although Brandon Peel isn't a high flyer, you got to go up there with the mindset of finishing strong or dunking. I felt like from half court, he had his mind made up that he was just going to softly lay up the ball.
Dirk Williams converts the three-point play. He's got 8 points off perfect shooting here in the first 4 minutes. Shelton backing down. Traveled with it, did he? Yes, he did.
It was a strange move there. He kind of didn't feel where Kelly's body was because he spins, but he spins into the defender, which is a poor use of when you pick up your dribble. It's like his awareness wasn't quite there on that move.
Kelly back to Reese. Reese trapped in the corner, trying to get out, gets it to Jordan Williams late in the shot clock. Williams driving through. His shot is blocked by Shelton, and that will be a 24-second violation.
That's good defense there from the Eagles. An excellent help defense by Duke Shelton. Corey Johnson does enough with his quick foot speed. The Duke Shelton comes across. Don't worry, I got your back. Blocks the shot.
Well, the Eagles bench were after a charging foul on that one. It certainly felt a lot of Jordan Williams. Here's Fletcher. Out to Peel. He's going to take the three, and it's off the mark. Tipped out by Kelly. That'll stay with the Eagles.
There we go. Duke Shelton again being a pest on the boards. London Lions weren't able to secure that defensive rebound.
Midway through the first half, the Lions have a 15-7 lead. Newcastle have called a timeout, and we were saying that at the beginning they can't give up 29 as they did last week. They're halfway to that, halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a team that you got to find a way to get stops, because you look at London Lions roster, the Newcastle Eagles aren't going to outscore them. So you don't want to get a scoring race with the Lions. So they've done a decent job of getting a couple of stops, but they got to string together a few more.
Brandon Peel, of course, going up against his old team for the first time. How did you get on first time you went up against Plymouth?
on a personal level? Or
yeah, no, just on a personal level.
Personal level, I top scored and I had the most rebounds for my team, but I came away from the pavilions with a loss. So
we're gonna gloss over the fact you fouled out of that game, are we? What about you, Drew? First time you played Plymouth, how did you?
Yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking. We were actually down 20 plus in the first half. I think I had like 4 points, but second half we rallied back, got the win, and it was a nice ride back to the Northeast.
We'll gloss over the 3 for 12 shooting in that game from you as well. I looked it up. Go on then, here's one question. Which one of you had a greater average against Plymouth, which was your first club, scoring? Take out the last season for you and the post-knee surgery for you. Which one of you had a better scoring average?
I think they'll be close. Maybe Drew.
I think it's you. I think it's you. I've had way more games against Plymouth than you, I would believe.
Here's Fletcher firing up off short, and Tawia with the rebound.
I like how we're both so humble.
Yeah.
I know you're the best, Drew.
Reese off the mark, rebound Shelton. And the quick three at the other end from Person knocks it down.
Wow, what an introduction into the starting five. Wesley Person showing us why he's forced his way in there. 7 points personal for him.
Dirk Williams driving to the hole is fouled. And will be 2 free throws.
But how did Persons get that wide open transition 3? By getting a stop on the other end. That's a great defensive stop by Newcastle, making the Londons pay on the other end.
So to answer the question, as Peel sits down, and so too does Shelton. Oh no, it's Shelton sitting down with Johnson. And you averaged 11.9 versus Plymouth. 7 rebounds and 60% shooting as well, pretty good. Drew, 10.4 points per game. So well done. 5 rebounds and 3 assists as well.
Close. We thought it would be close, but I think Drew's sample size is a little bit bigger than mine.
Bigger,
so it's
Dirk Williams into double figures, and we played 5.5 minutes. He is level with Newcastle. Dirk has 10, Eagles have 10. Here's Defoe, spinning, but traveling with it.
Fletcher getting Defoe the ball in that danger area again, but Defoe just had a little bit too much to do there. Back pivot foot, as you can see, picks up the floor. Good call from the referee.
And that's the Kyler Kelly effect. When you have a high flyer block shotter like that, you see Newcastle bigs thinking twice as they get closer to the basket.
Dirk Williams continues his perfect shooting start. 12 points now. He's not missed from any distance.
Someone in an Eagles jersey has to step up and take responsibility for guarding him, because right now he is way too much.
Fletcher can't finish. That's a little too far in front of Justin Robinson.
Miscommunication on the Lions. And that's a wasteful possession, just because, you convert on that play, you're out to a double-digit lead and things are going well.
Ooh, that was the right play. Spinning back door was Fletcher, but the pass had way too much on it from Defoe.
A couple back-to-back turnovers by both teams, all big men trying to pass to their guards, not quite successfully pulling it off.
But 4 turnovers for the Newcastle Eagles early. You can't afford to have wasted offensive possessions against this #1 defense in the BBL.
Well, Dirk Williams misses his first shot of the game. Fletcher, long 2. It's good.
Wow, it's a big shot there. Pull up in the face of Justin Robinson. Confident shot.
Jordan Williams. Robinson in the corner. Misses the 3. Tawia with great position in the putback.
And rails down in the big Chris Tower. That's his job. That's what he'll do. And a turnover here, and Isaiah Reese takes full advantage of it. And that's 5th turnover now for the Eagles in this quarter.
Just a casual one, really. Reese, thank you very much. This person down to Peel off 1 foot. Nice shot.
Good positioning there from Peel, and he's got that good soft touch around the rim where he can fade away from Chris Tarius, who's not able to block that shot.
Dirk Williams had that deflected away. Fletcher's out in front, and Fletcher will lay in an easy score.
It's a really good pass from Luis Sayers there, and easy finish for Fletcher.
The Eagles have cut it back down to 7. Reese getting into the paint. Crowded out of it. Gets it to Dario. Eventually that's ripped away by Person. Sayers, space from 45 degrees. Knocks down the triple.
Wow, and there we go. Turnovers created on the other end of the floor. The defensive intensity is increasing, and Luis Sayers is not going to miss too many of them from there.
All right, it's forced Vince McCauley into a timeout here. Their lead was in double figures at one stage. It was 11. It's down to only 4 right now, and it is points off turnovers that have allowed Newcastle back into this game.
Yeah, we always talk about finishing quarters at Newcastle, and this last one, 136, is going to be important for the Eagles to make sure they keep this game within striking distance, or better yet, take the lead.
The microscope has been on the Newcastle Eagles offense, but, you know, take a closer look at London Lions. 7 turnovers for them already in this quarter, and they've got that thing about them, you know, watching them this season, when they get up too early in games, they tend to go into confidence mode or overconfidence mode and cruise. And we've seen a couple careless passes on the London Lions there, and sort of that very casual offense, transition offense. And Newcastle Eagles, they'll thrive and they'll punish you on those occasions, and they have them to close this gap to a 4-point game.
Well, last week we saw how much that 19-day break affected the Newcastle Eagles. So, I mean, London has been off for 2 weeks, so maybe they're just a little discombobulated early.
And for a team that generally has 2 or 3 days between their games, the way it's played, this is by far their longest gap in the season, 13 days without a game. The previous longest was 7. And most games are somewhere between 2 and 5 days apart for London, such is their schedule, with all the European games in midweek. Here's Robinson out to Kajima. Floats one up late in the shot clock. It's off the mark. Fletcher with a quick outlet to Sayers. And again, Newcastle in transition can punish you.
That's a well-deserved bucket there from Luis Sayers, because his defense against Kajini down the other end was superb. Didn't let him get his shot off.
Kelly close in, little flat on that, but it comes all the way out to Washburn for 3. Tip down, Johnson Thompson has it. Fletcher blocked by Kelly.
And that's Carla Kelly's job, the rim protector. And he'll do that.
Mr. Windex.
He is. Clean glass down the defensive end.
Tough shot from Robinson, a little short. Well, the shot clock is on, but there's maybe half a second, maybe a full second between it and the game. Newcastle can run this one right down and potentially tie things at the end of the first quarter. Here's Fletcher, and he gets the foul from Washburn.
30.7 on the shot, 4.6 on the game.
It's not a bad foul there. Don't want to get beat, doesn't send him to the line. 4.6. Here's Williams trying to find some room. There isn't any, and it's mashed back at him by Washburn. Well, the London Lions led this opening quarter by as many as 11, but a great finish to the opening 10 minutes by the Newcastle Eagles pulled them right back into the game. Here at the Virtue Motors Arena in Newcastle, it is the Eagles 21, the Lions 23. We will have second quarter action when we return. Welcome back to Newcastle, where the Eagles trail the Lions by a basket, but will start the fourth quarter, the second quarter even, with the ball. And a chance to try and tie it up. Here's Defoe. Looking to use his strength and his footwork. Nice work from Darius Defoe.
That was really nice move there. Uses his power initially to get positioning, and then it's that large step through after that stutter step. It gets all the way to that right hand.
Robinson round the high screen. And Defoe getting called for the foul.
This is what you don't want Defoe doing, getting caught on those reach-ins, because that hurt the Eagles last week. He had 2 fouls early and had to sit.
This is first tonight. Robinson, lots of room for Kajini. He's way too good a shooter to be that open.
Justin Robinson's way too good of a passer to miss him too. It's a really nice look there, and Gugini, as you said, Dan, he's not going to miss that.
And he's the Steph Curry of our league, and what I mean by that, whenever he shoots, you always think it's going in, especially if he's wide open.
Well, Kelly almost lost that out of bounds, and in the end it is out of bounds for a Newcastle possession.
Another turnover there from Lions, and you can even see the body language and frustration there between players on the ball when they lose possession.
Kajuni was telling him the other way. The pass needed to go the other way. And he then applauded him afterwards. But here's Williams into Johnson Thompson. Defoe gets into the heart of the lane. Has to put it up high to get it over Kelly.
Darius Defoe, immediate impact yet again in this game.
And Darius invested in a personal trainer this summer, paying dividends.
Williams with the steal and lays it home. Newcastle in front.
Wow, turnover number 9, and Newcastle Eagles down the other end of the floor prospering from Lions errors.
Here's Robinson. Nowhere to go. Back out to Washburn. 5 on the shot clock. Washburn takes the 3, in and out. Here's Defoe out leading the break. No real room through. Dirk Williams in transition. Good luck catching him.
He just floats, doesn't he? Floats at pace, and one-man wrecking ball.
This person back to Defoe. Has it knocked away, and that came off him last. Will be a London ball.
Strange play there. It's like he left the ball as well. I think it seemed to come off his foot the second time as well. Maybe, I don't know, it was an odd play. Really odd play.
Well, changes for Coach McLeod as Johnson Thompson sits down. Here's Reese for London. London ball from the end.
And I love how the Eagles are scrambling tonight. Next man up, help side defense. That's what it takes to be a great defensive team, especially to take down a juggernaut like the London Lions.
Kajini. Wow, tough shot.
Really was. It's a catch and shoot where he doesn't need a lot of time or space to get it off. Luis Sayers has to contest it and be up that little bit more so he can't get that off.
Sayers looking to get the 3 points back and doing exactly that.
A little shoot off between the two shooting guards. Both renowned for being sharp shooters on the three-point line.
Washburn now, 3 threes in a row.
I mean, Washburn's someone who's had a couple threes already there, hasn't hit, but he had way too much time and space there for that one.
Sayers down to Peel. Takes a shot off the back of the iron. Dirk Williams with the rebound.
Defense, Trio.
Reese to Washburn. He's got room for another one. And, oh, almost got a friend bounce. Fletcher, pick and roll with Defoe, work to perfection, and Talia commits the foul.
Phenomenal execution, the pass, the cut, the timing, and the big man textbook, keeping the ball high, strong enough to absorb that contact. Nice play.
And you're starting to see both teams settle in, and when you got this much talent littered on the floor, your individual talent gets uplifted. So we got a great game in store.
Corey Johnson returns to the game. Luke Shelton waiting for his chance to enter. It'll depend on whether Defoe can make this free throw or not. And Defoe can, so he gets himself the break. 7 points. Perfect shooting for Darius Defoe.
But the impact, Dan, yet again, positive impact on the game.
Let's do that 60 go. Let's hear that chapter defense.
Cagini driving through. Rebound Talia. And tipped in. Great work from Washburn.
Incredible, the ability to jump from one side of the rim to tip it back from under the other. Wow, what a play.
Johnson on the baseline. Out to Fletcher, who just stepped on the sideline. He's not convinced.
I am convinced it was a great call, but the referee was out of bounds.
Yeah.
Good call.
Definitely.
Reese floats one in for two.
That's tough, and he's a big guard, isn't he? 6'4", 6'5".
And Newcastle quickly down court with Sayers laying it in.
How many times have we seen that already this evening? Newcastle Eagles throwing that quarterback pass, and Lewis Sayers finishing yet again.
Talia keeps it alive. Cagini moves it on. Dirk Williams in the corner misses the three. And here come Newcastle again in transition. Shelton, wasn't too much zip on that for him to hold on to it. Cagini steps into the three. Got away with one there. Fletcher is first to the ball. Fletcher dumps it back to Shelton, who is absolutely knocked by Talia, who says, I didn't mean it. It is an unsportsmanlike foul.
It's a really good decision from Ramon Fletcher, though. Ramon Fletcher had that decision to take it himself, but Ramon Fletcher at 5'10", going against a 6'9", 6'10" Chris Talia, made the right decision to pass the ball to his 6'10" center, and oh goodness, that's a hard foul. 21st century basketball that has flagrant written all over it.
Yeah,
goodness me.
I was just going to say, in the 90s, that would have just been coined as a good foul, especially if you was a New York Knicks fan.
Yeah. No layup rules of the 90s. You'd have been applauded for that. But to be fair to him, he reacted straight away as if to say, I missed the ball there and I caught him and that's my fault. Because there could have been a reaction to that. I think his response took the heat out of it. Vince McCauley going to call a timeout here. 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first half. It is the Eagles 36, the Lions 38.
Wow, electrifying game so far in this quarter. Is carrying on from the first. Both teams going pound for pound, 15 apiece in this quarter. But you can really see the tension increasing here now by both camps.
Lions 5 of 14 from three-point range here in the early stages. I mean, it's impressive. They've got 14 up in 15 minutes, but not quite as prolific as we usually expect with this London Lions team.
Yeah, I think it's what you talked about earlier, those 13 days off, and it's just a little bit of rust. But let's give credit to the Newcastle Eagles defense. They're scrambling around, and you can just tell there's a different intent about them tonight as opposed to 7 days ago.
Well, the Lions heading back out onto court. This was the tip. Incredible athleticism to, as you say, take off from one side and be able to finish it on the other.
Something we look at and can only dream of.
Sure, in early days, Rowe, you must have done. Oh, alley-oop to Shelton. Reese stepped on the line there.
Great job by Chris Tower to break up that play, because that pass was a very good one. It was in the vicinity there, and Duke Shelton, as we know, is a high flyer. Good defensive play there from Chris Tower.
Person back to Fletcher, short from the three. Dirk Williams out in transition. Well, he's able to catch that off the missed finger roll. Floats one up and doesn't quite get that either. Stolen away by Peel. Here's Fletcher. They won't catch him. Ramon Fletcher lays in for two. We're tied at 38.
Eagles are so aggressive and quick in the open floor, aren't they?
It certainly happened so far in this game. It's been very effective tactic for them. They've got 19 points in the fast break, so half their offense. Is Tawia underneath. He's fouled by Shelton, and a bonus free throw coming. It will be the second foul on Shelton.
Well, there's certain matchups now that are starting to develop. Another one there in Chris Tawia versus Duke Shelton. Both scoring on ones on one another, and as we know, that hard foul there, creating that, and Duke Shelton not happy. Even the game on 2 fouls.
Well, I'm not sure his coach has much other option but to sit him down with 3:46 to go to halftime. Oh, tipped in by Washburn. Defoe, top of the key, that's his spot.
Number 13 already running back on defense. He knew it was good as soon as it left his hand.
Automatic from that spot once he gets his feet set.
Reese off the mark, rebound for Peel. Newcastle again looking to push. Johnson for three, back iron.
A rare open opportunity for Johnson there.
Williams somehow gets past one man, but not the other. London still have the ball. Reese fakes the long three and gets a finger roll. Well, that wasn't great defense.
No, it wasn't. It's like Isaiah Reese was looking for the pass, and Newcastle Eagles knew he was looking for the pass, but they gave up the open layup instead, which is a rule 101 on defense, not to do that.
Ramon Fletcher from the elbow.
If you're a Newcastle Eagles fan, you have to be happy with this pace and this flow. They're getting out and running on offense, whether it's make or miss, and they're creating turnovers. 10 turnovers so far for the London Lions in the first half.
13 points off those turnovers as well for the Newcastle Eagles. Here's Dirk Williams driving in, floats it up, rebound Defoe. Johnson gets all the way, and that's the other thing. Points off turnovers and transition points in general. Newcastle have been excellent in this first half.
I don't know if they've been running transition drills all day in practice, but it looks like they are crisp on the end of the floor. Execution has been near perfect.
Jordan Williams off the mark. Well, Newcastle walking it up for once. Fletcher, top of the key, and he's feeling it from there.
He is, and you can see his confidence grow, and each jump shot he makes, his confidence is increasing, and just uses that screen to create some space and knocks it down.
He joins Sayers on 10 points as the leading scorers for the Eagles. Nice pass, but broken up by Person. Talia still has it. Gets out of there. Reese fires up the three and hits it. And Coach McLeod just going to stop the play with 1:07 to go, calls a timeout.
Eagles almost created another turnover there, but Jordan Williams is able to calm order, and Isaiah Reese, another deep three for him. Takes him to 12 points personal. He's 2 for 4 from beyond the three-point line.
Well, 25-24 the score in this quarter. And Newcastle certainly keeping that scoreboard ticking, and as long as they can keep getting out into transition, keep beating London down the court, they will have a good chance of matching what is the league's most prolific offensive scoring team.
Yeah, and the Newcastle Eagles look more comfortable with the two teams running the floor. We've noticed a couple plays here now where London Lions have tried to push the ball in that quick succession, just like the Eagles, and Derek Williams has had some uncharacteristic misses and some odd sort of layups where he usually converts quite comfortably, and where the turnovers are as a result of that as well. The pace has increased, and London Lions are the ones that can't quite adjust to this pace because they're the ones sitting on turnovers.
Well, it's 21 points to 7 on the fast break, which just shows you how much quicker and how much more effective Newcastle have been in the open floor. In a 1-point game to have outscored them by 14. Conversely, it also shows that London have done better in the half court. So if they can take that away from Newcastle. Here's Defoe on the fall away.
Tyrus Defoe is energized, isn't he? Tough move there against a tough defender. Tyrus Defoe comes out on top.
Neighbour was setting a screen, and Dirk Williams threw him the pass. Here's Johnson Thompson, and he's fouled by Neighbour, who was making the argument he got the ball.
Great pass there again from Ramon Fletcher. He gets into the heart of that defense, and Daniel Johnson-Thompson, you just want him to go up there and slam that ball. But Will Neighbour does enough with a foul to put him off.
Well, he saved his team a point.
Maybe 2. I mean, Daniel Johnson-Thompson hasn't a guy who's played a lot of minutes. And I know his free throw percentage isn't fantastic.
He does make the second. But you're right, he's a sub 50% for his career from the foul line. Oh, that's almost stolen away by Defoe. And it's almost turned over again by London. Finally, Newcastle get their hands on the ball. They will go into halftime with the lead, barring a turnover here. They're going to try and stretch it with the final score. Fletcher gets to the elbow. He hits. And the Newcastle Eagles, who trailed by as many as 11, will go into the half with their biggest lead of the game at 4 points. 51 on the board for Newcastle to outscore the Lions by 4 here.
And what a finish to that half. Ramon Fletcher controlled. Nice hard dribble off that screen, and that pull-up jump shot that he's been making all game.
Well, he already has a double-double at halftime. 6 of 10 shooting, 12 points and 10 assists for Fletcher. And he certainly has come to play this evening.
He has, and you can just see the confidence of this Eagles team just increase. He's a leader by nature, leader by example, and leader on court. And when you see your main guy doing things like that, it's contagious.
Let's Let's take a look at the shooting numbers. The Lions up to 40% from the three-point line in the end, but really the 70% two-point field goal shooting for the Newcastle Eagles has been key, because they have been able to get out in transition, get those easy points, and that is why they have a 4-point lead. So let's get some reaction from Ramon Fletcher. A first half double-double. He is with Drew Lasker.
Fletcher, 4-point lead going into halftime. You happy with that first half performance?
Of course. I mean, if we were down by 4 or up by 4, I like the intent that we're having. The game that we played last Friday against Sheffield, I think we came out a little flat. And especially with a good team like London, you can't give them any opportunities. I think we did that.
And your ninth-rate defense was talked about at the top of the show, but you forced 11 turnovers. What's different about tonight on that side of the ball?
Like I said, it's our intent. We're up in the passing lanes, we're up in bodies, we're up in help, and that's something that we got to do. That's something that we got to hang our hats on going to the second half, because a team like this can get hot early.
And speaking of the second half, what's urgent if you guys are going to come out here with a win?
I think we let them get to the middle a little too much, especially Dirk. We got Dirk going a little early. Getting the ball in the middle, getting punched in the gap, getting those floaters, getting those kickouts, those open threes. That's something that we got to eliminate, and if we do that, we'll be in good shape.
A great half. Thanks for your time, Fletcher.
Appreciate it.
Certainly was, Drew. A great half, in particular for this struggling Eagles side that has laid down a marker. 4-point lead going into the locker room. Reaction and analysis coming next. What a blistering half of basketball we have just seen. The Lions blazed into a double-digit lead, but the Eagles hit back and then some, forcing turnovers, defense rolling into offense. And how about this for a scoreline? Newcastle lead the Lions 51-47 at the break. Kieran Achara, looking at those numbers, clearly the Eagles on fire shooting. However, the turnovers is the stat that really jumped out to us, not least because Newcastle seemingly kind of keeping up there, but actually it's a one-sided story when you look at it in more detail.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the intensity is there, the steals are there, and they're turning quick stops into scores, which is keeping the game close.
All right, let's take a look at how Newcastle have forged into this lead, because it was aggressive, fast break basketball, wasn't it? And we looked and talked about at the beginning that this Newcastle struggling defense would find it difficult to contain this London Lions offense. And the way the game started, it looked, despite their best efforts, that is exactly what was happening.
Yeah, definitely. I think Newcastle actually started the game really, really strong. They were intense, they were getting in the passing lanes, they were playing with pressure, but look at this, right here, that's a tough shot, tough contested shot, knockdown. That can go, play in your confidence a little bit. But here again, baiting them out, deep three, another knockdown. But the thing is, for me, they weren't losing confidence, they stuck to their principles. Again, another tough, quick release shot in your face straight away. But they never lost confidence in that. They were still there every single shot, making it hard for London.
They stayed the course. Another issue early on was turnovers on the Eagles side. They were giving up turnovers themselves, which against the Lions, a big mistake. But then they started to generate their own and force their own. And they were so effective in turning defense into offense.
Well, we talk about Brandon Peel and how he can be so tricky getting in the passing lanes. But they're getting these little quick steals. And just the way they run the floor, they get that fast break. That's Newcastle basketball. That's the way they want to play. Quick stops into easy scores, and they were doing a great job of that in the first half.
Drew Lasker, you must have been pretty happy seeing a prototypical half of Newcastle basketball.
Yeah, that's more like it. That's what we've been asking for all season, and Fletch touched on it at halftime. It's not anything from a philosophy standpoint. It's about their intent, and they look locked in tonight.
Yeah, the intensity and a packed arena as well. Absolutely loving what they were seeing. Dirk Williams trying to spoil the party, as he has done for most of the opposition he's played against this season. Leading scorer on the court at the half, and you can see why he's having such a strong year so far, Drew.
Yeah, this is what Dirk Williams do. I mean, he's the second leading scorer in the league. You look at his numbers, all of them are off the charts. You just have to make sure you make it tough on him and hope for the best. But the difference was late is that Newcastle did a great job of getting back in transition and containing him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a blazing start once again, but they kept him in check as the game wore on. It'll be fascinating to see how that particular battle plays out. One more thing we want to look at is the Chris Taurier foul on Duke Shelton, because that was something that certainly had everybody here up in arms. Did you think there was intent in it? Because the way that he reacted straight away would suggest there wasn't. How did you read it, Drew?
No, that's nothing intentional about that. It's just a hard foul, but like Aunt Rose said at the comms, in 2021, that is an intentional foul. It is more for the safety of the player as you see him grab Shelton's head right there. So great call by the ref.
All right, then. A brilliant first half of basketball here in Newcastle. And speaking of brilliant, it's time for our Plays of the Week. It's coming, I promise you, and it'll be worth it.
Here's Defoe rolling to the basket, rolling back for years to throw it down.
That's incredible. That's a 38-year-old dunking the basketball there.
Wow.
Nice move. Pretty move. Gets right to the rim.
Oh, great follow from Cook to jam that home.
Really good work there from Bennett Cook.
Out to Rotino. Steps back for three, and he knocks down his second of the game.
Wow, Rotino usually known for the catch and shoot there, but off the dribble. Good looking three-point shot there from him.
Nice move there, although Kimball didn't nearly get it across there.
To Rotino. Dumps it off and hammered in by Delpesh.
Wow, they've got a lot of offense through Rotino. He's on 11 points himself, but he does the intelligent thing here and dumps the ball down to his 6'9" dunking center.
All right, let's get to it. Kieran Achara. The disgusting player of the week goes to
You know what? I was actually disappointed this week. I said I thought it was a Del Pesh play was disgusting last week. I'm only going to give it a revolting right now.
Is that right?
It wasn't quite there. We have to up the ante. You have to go back to my days when they were doing the 360 through the legs. That's what we need.
You got to earn the disgusting. That's a new crinkle this season. All right, fair play. And speaking of the second half, Drew Lasker, and the red button that you were worried about maybe needing to press the way this game is going to play out. Presumably, your hand's nowhere near that red button right now.
Yeah, everybody can relax. I've taken my hand off the trigger. And if Newcastle Eagles come with this same second half effort and put some doubt in the London Lions' mind, they might be able to get out here with a victory.
Oh, well, maybe. And what an upset that would be. A superb first half here in Newcastle. A lot to live up to. The second half is coming next. Well, what about this for a scoreline at the half? The Eagles leading the Lions 51-47, and the packed capacity crowd here at the Virtue Arena looking forward to a second half, which is about to tip off. So we will get back to Ant and Dan.
Thank you very much, Nat. There's Vince McCauley. What do you think he would have said to his team at halftime there, Ant?
Please stop turning the ball over and run back on defense. Are the two clear areas of deficiencies for that London Lions team. Defensively, I feel like they've been appalling. Yes, they've conceded 51 points, but defensively, as a unit, it's been lack of effort, lack of intelligence, and this Newcastle Eagles team will thrive off of that.
Well, let's see what the halftime adjustments are that the two teams will make as we get ready to get things underway here in Newcastle with the third quarter, and the Lions with the first possession of it. Just wanted the net pulled down, so Corey Johnson obliges.
Only because that might affect one of his three-point shots.
It's probably one of his shots that put it like that in the first place.
True.
Jordan Williams. Reese just over-dribbled that and ended up trying to chase it to the end line and stepping out of bounds.
Well, if I was right with what you asked me the question about Vince McCauley about not turning it over, that's not a very good start. That'll be turning into number 13 and first play of the second half for the London Lions.
Just has to touch the line to be out of bounds. Johnson. Peel in the corner for three. Flat that one, trying to get his own rebound. And it is Person who gets to it. He takes the three. Back iron again. Peel on the glass. Person driving in this time, gets all the way to the basket, but an offensive foul to score the call.
That's just great energy and persistence from Brandon Peel to keep that ball alive. And Wesley Person, I felt, did the right thing. He's just trying to be aggressive. He's trying to make something happen, but on that occasion, the defense met him first, and nice stand by Isaiah Reese.
You can see he got his feet outside the no charge circle. Jordan Williams hands it off to Reese. Poked away by Fletcher, and he's fouled by Reese.
Two-point guards going after it there. And Fletcher gets him to cough up the ball again.
Drew Lasker back in commentary with us. Opening minute. Decent start for the Eagles at the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting with my man, number 44, Ramon Fletcher. The very first play of the game, he got matched up with Washburn and showed great toughness. And then you see that last play there, causing Reese to turn it over.
Jordan Williams, cross court. Washburn checks his feet, fires the three. And that came off Jordan Williams.
The referee wasn't giving anything away at the start there. He made us wait. Oh, goodness.
Well, Peel definitely got a finger on it first. Whether it just, I must admit, from our side of the floor, it did look like it came off Jordan Williams' glass, but on that replay it didn't. Reese called for his second foul. Peel. Fletcher scoops it out. Corner shot from Person is short. Shelton bats it back. We could have let that go into the backcourt. It wouldn't have been a violation because it was a tap. But he kicked it in and they got 2 points out of it.
That's so tough. Ramon Fletcher challenging the bigger defender, Chris Cowier, but shoots it high enough and soft enough for it to go down.
And I've seen that look on Ramon Fletcher's face before. He knows how important this game is tonight.
Dirk Williams off the mark. Here's Person. Fletcher. Fletcher has knocked that shot down all game.
He really has. And look how comfortable he is in that pull-up shot.
The Eagles now out to their biggest lead of the game at 8. 3-pointer off the mark. Batted up in the air, and eventually Shelton picks it up. Peel out running the floor, found by Fletcher, and lays it in, and the Eagles lead by 10.
Wow, and there we go. Execution to perfection for that offensive transition. Got to get back. Brandon Peel, number 2.
And this is the Newcastle Eagles team we've been waiting to see all year.
Jordan Williams kicks it back to Reese for 3. They needed that. Boy, London needed that.
Really big shot from Isaiah Reese, and he's been the guy for them 15 points personal for him.
And here is Newcastle again, even on a made score, beating London down court.
Make or miss, as you say, Dan. Newcastle Eagles' message is very clear. It's regardless of what happens the play before, let's push the basketball, and they've been doing it so aggressively all game.
Third foul on Tawe. Sees him sit down, and Kelly come back into the game. I think Kieran mentioned it at the top. Lions 10-1. It actually equals their best ever start to a BBL season. They've never been 11-1 though, which is what they're trying to do all British domestic competitions. Stolen away by Fletcher. Can't keep it. He can keep it in actually, but London get it back. No reset of the shot clock because he didn't have full control. Fletcher. He's after another steal. Reese is on the floor. And it's a jump ball, and that will give Newcastle possession back.
What phenomenal energy from this Newcastle Eagles. And where has this been? Because this is absolutely suffocating. You've got a well-established, arguably one of the better point guards in the league. Can't even get off the pick and roll there because of the intensity of the defense. Another great play from Ramon Fletcher.
16 points and 11 assists so far for Ramon Fletcher. He's got 3 steals. He's impacted a lot more at the defensive end as well. Shelton pulled out everything there to try and avoid Kelly.
And it's been mentioned about Ramon Fletcher's struggles offensively, and coaches at the youth level always say offense comes and goes, defense travels, and you can always play on that end of the court. And we see Fletch setting the tone defensively, and it's getting him going offensively. You see the jump shot flowing. You see him getting to the basket.
Johnson shot over the top. There's Fletcher again deflecting a pass. And Newcastle once more in transition. Person driving hard. Oh, Fletcher behind the back. Shelton can't hang on. Newcastle still have it. Peel to the spin. Blocked by Kelly. Peel still has it. On to Shelton. And he gets the drop.
Well, the persistence is a skill.
There's Jordan Williams quickly down court.
Wow. London Lions giving Eagles a taste of their own medicine there. Quick outlet pass and quick score.
Fletcher. For 3! Ramon Fletcher up to 19.
It's the Ramon Fletcher show. Both ends of the floor, may I add. He's Mr. Steelam on the defensive end and knocks down another confident shot on the offense.
Poked away this time by Johnson. Fletcher will wait for reinforcements. Johnson won't though. He goes straight to the hole. And Jordan Williams with the rebound.
Wasn't the right play there from Corey Johnson. Ramon Fletcher waited and it was the right call.
Nice from Williams, but a good challenge, and eventually Jordan Williams gets his 2 points. And with 4 to play here in the third, Coach McLeod calls a timeout.
A nice strong play there from Jordan Williams. He's just too strong and good hand to stay with that play, and easy finish for him.
This feels like a timeout in reaction to just 2 plays. Sometimes that's the thing. The scoreboard hasn't really changed much. They're still up 8. He just wants to make sure the momentum doesn't shift back to the Lions' way.
And you hit the nail on the head. Momentum, and right now the momentum's in the Eagles' favor. And Newcastle is a blue-collar city that's built on toughness, hard working, and that's what the fans expect to see out of their Newcastle Eagles, and they're displaying that tonight.
Well, they're also used to seeing their team win, and they're winning so far tonight as well. Busy night of action in the British Basketball League. Down in Sheffield, the Sharks have a 6-point lead in the third quarter against Plymouth. Bristol have an 8-point lead over Surrey midway through the third. And Leicester have a 30-point lead against the Rocks at halftime. 65 first half points for the Leicester Riders. 32 points first quarter, 33 points in the second quarter.
Wow, they had a man sent off?
I don't know. Somebody needs to go check on Kieran Achara over there as well, I think.
Is it 5 against 4? Goodness me.
And the Leicester Riders, they hear all this noise about the London Lions this season, and they're like, we won the league last year. Just gets it done year after year.
There's Williams out to Defoe. Pump fake, steps in a little closer, and just done enough.
Wow, nice use of the pump fake from Darius Defoe. But again, poor defensive assignment there. Darius Defoe's not technically a three-point shooter. Got to stay down there, make him earn those 2 points.
Cugini is a three-point shooter, and he almost made it. He will go to the line, though.
Goodness me, that was halfway down, wasn't it? Good contest. I mean, Carl Williams doesn't want to foul, but he knows he has to contest, and that was almost down there, which makes me suggest if he doesn't give him that little knock, that's nothing but net.
Well, if that's true, he saved his team a point now. Well, Eagles fans behind the basket doing their best to put him off.
And picking up on your point, Dan, earlier you mentioned London Lions never been 11-1. They've yet to see any adversity in the British Basketball League except once down at Morningside Arena. So I'm wondering from you guys, do you see any vibes that was similar down there to their only blemish on their records this season?
Well, my take of that game was because it was a cup game and both teams knew they were going through, there wasn't a ton riding on it on that occasion. Lions were obviously short-handed. Justin Robinson wasn't fit. I don't think Jordan Williams played that game either. So I don't read too much in either of those Leicester London Cup games from the group stages.
The adversity I can record, Drew, is actually at London a couple of bucks against Bristol Flyers. Bristol Flyers had played a convincing game. They were the better team for the majority of the game, and it wasn't until late where London Lions were just about to get out a win. But they faced adversity early and they overcame it. So it's that's the only thing I can remember. But right now, you can see that the frustrations are increasing, and that little bit of urgency there is also creeping in.
But it's a good point, because it's one thing to beat teams by 30 points every week, but when you're behind, it's a different mindset. Here's Kelly, who drops it in for 2.
Wow, to have an athletic 7-footer to be able to do that, it helps.
A human pogo stick.
To be able to jump that high and not even need to dunk it, you know what I mean? I'll just drop it in. Here's Johnson. High off the glass for 2.
Nice play from Corey Johnson. Good patience there from Eagles. Really important period of the game here with Ramon Fletcher on the bench.
Oh, man, that is a tough shot.
It really is. One pump fake to get the defender flying by, and then another dribble.
Well, Williams somehow still has the ball. Johnson steps back to get himself behind the three-point line. Defoe trying to get the offensive rebound, but just couldn't hang on to the ball.
Well, the good news is Eagles survived that period, and what I mean by that is you can notice when Ramon Fletcher's not on the court, you lose all of the great stuff he brings, but ball handling. The backup point guard is something that this is a weakness of the Newcastle Eagles. Can they handle the pressure when Ramon Fletcher's not in the game, because he can't be expected to play 40 minutes every game.
And that's been the issue with the Eagles all season, a secondary ball handling, which they lack, which is causing high minutes for Ramon Fletcher. You see him back in the game after a quick rest.
Well, he averages 33.5 minutes a game this season, Fletcher, and he's straight back into the assist column with a nice pass to Defoe.
Defoe, absolutely no fear. He doesn't care there's a 7-footer in there.
There's Reese off the glass, and Defoe looking for where the help was there.
Another guy who does not care where the defense is, Isaiah Reese. 17 points personal for him. 63% from the floor so far this evening.
Defoe, long elbow. Not quite in rhythm, that one. Here's Dirk Williams driving hard and getting all the way to the rim.
So eloquent in offensive transition, isn't he? He's so quick and he floats and he's so long. It looks effortless.
Well, as well as the Eagles have played in this quarter, Lions have taken the lead 20-19 in this period. Kyle Williams, that's a tough shot, and it's off the mark. Reese out to Cagini. Cagini is pulling his team back into the game. There's another one rim out. Lions able to keep it. Reese for three. Rims out. The foe with the rebound. Fletcher's leaked out. Fletcher going quick. Kelly chasing him. Can't catch him up though.
It's an odd decision there when Reese missed that shot. Instead of running back, he tried to chase down that ball, which left Ramon Fletcher with a wide open layup on the upper end.
And what a pass by Darius Defoe. I've been on the recipient end of a lot of those full court passes by number 13.
Well, still chance here. Ball's towards Sayers. Cagini gets a hand on it. Dirk Williams from three-quarter court leaves that one short. Well, Newcastle started this second half really strongly. They managed to open themselves a double-figure lead, but Vince McCauley and his Lions have cut it back. Just one shot separates the two teams. We will have the fourth quarter of this three-point game when we return. Welcome back to the Virtue Motors Arena in Newcastle, where the London Lions trail the Newcastle Eagles by 3. Lions trying to maintain their unbeaten start to the league campaign. And Reese running out of room, throws it off the legs of Fletcher.
That's happened a few times this evening. The Eagles have done a really good job of forcing Reese to the baseline. And this time, Reese is a smart play, doesn't turn it over.
I think he gave Fletcher a bit of a blow as well. He threw it pretty hard at his legs. Here is Reese. Broken up by Peel. Peel off and running. Kelly chasing him. Peel is blocked by Kelly.
Incredible chase down. We all saw it coming, but what a perfectly timed block.
Nice pass. Dirk to Jordan and Williams combined.
What a luxury it is to have a 7-foot rim protector like this. Beautiful block there, but Peel again not going with that 100% aggression you'd want him to.
League leader in blocks
And doing everything to stay there. Knocked loose from Peel. Lions with a chance to regain the lead. Dirk Williams gets into the key and puts his team ahead.
He just pulls up, has that hang time, and just that follow through is just effortless.
And it's a game of margins. That play from Kyler Kelly, that's a momentum play right there. 4-point swing, making aggressive plays. Got the London Lions up by 1.
Peel. Well, he knew it was short. He went chasing after it. Reese lobs it up. Kelly with the two-handed throwdown.
Wow, and easy, just like that. Reese gets in the danger zone of that defense and throws that ball high up, knowing that Kelly will reciprocate with a dunk.
Sayers waiting for something to happen. Here's Person. He takes the 3. Defoe with the rebound, but I think it was illegally secured, and the foul is on Darius Defoe.
Well, you can start to see that switch of things here now, can't you? The momentum and the confidence and the swing moving in London Lions' favour. And I think the concerning thing is for the rest of the league is we've seen this London Lions team be under adversity, and they've looked adversity in the eye, and they're overcoming it so far. 3 points ahead, 8 minutes to play.
Well, let's see what the Eagles have in reply now that they face a little bit of adversity themselves here early in the fourth quarter. Reese, great block from Shelton.
Oh, Duke Shelton just making us all remember he's in there too, protecting his rim. It's a basket-saving block.
Wow. Not sure what happened there. The Eagles feel like they should have got the ball. Let's have another look. No, this is the block. Now there's going to be an end-line ball once again to the London Lions.
And the Eagles, who's played nearly a flawless game tonight, getting their first taste of adversity. And when you're 3-9, that's when the doubt starts creeping into the mind. How do they handle it?
Defensive breakdown there by the Eagles. You've got to follow the inbounder there. They just left him, and Isaiah Reese, 21 points personal for him.
8 assists to go with it. Here's Defoe driving hard. No way past Kelly. Shelton is fouled by Williams.
It's been a game changer, isn't he, so far, Kyler Kelly, just having that presence inside.
And you mentioned that presence. He's nowhere in the vicinity, but we got Duke Shelton pump faking again. That's what happens when you lead the league in blocks.
Shelton from the line. 3 points separate the team. Dirk Williams. Back to Reese. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Reese toying with him. Steps back off the mark. Fletcher. In the corner is Sayers. He knocks down the 3, and we are tied once again.
Lewis Sayers comes to the party, and it wasn't until I was looking at those clips from the finals, the playoff finals last year, how many big shots Lewis Sayers hits, and that's something he didn't do very well 7 days ago, but here he is now making big plays.
And Louis Sayers has proven when it's time to step up and make the big shot, he can answer the call.
Here's Reese. Gets it to Kelly late in the shot clock. Misses everything. And that's a 24-second violation against the Lions. Well, the Eagles fans letting Kelly know that shot didn't hit anything.
And it's going to be interesting to watch the coaching matchup down the stretch. Does Coach McLeod go with Defoe, who's on 15 points, or does he leave? Does he come back in with the shiny new toy? And Brandon Pill, tough decisions down.
Well, efficiency-wise, Defoe would be the choice. 7 of 9. And Brandon Pill too, 7 in his shooting. Here is Person. Person dumps it off to Shelton, who almost got that to go, but he will shoot 2.
Just plays like that too, bring back the unity and bring back a little bit of calmness now to this Eagles team. Nice penetration from Wes Person Jr., who's had a good game. And Duke Shelton attracted another foul.
Shelton can't put Newcastle ahead. Oh, he misses them both.
Tough trip to the line for Shelton. Newcastle Eagles are going to have to respond here with defensive set.
Reese. Dirk Williams in the corner. Misses the 3. Shelton's able to get the rebound. Defoe on to Sayers for 3. Not this time.
Good extra pass there, but Lewis Sayers had to bring it through a little bit. He wasn't really in that motion of catch and shoot, but not a bad miss, just back ironed it.
No, it was Kyler Kelly, the 7-footer, jumping at full extension, putting a hand up. Makes a huge difference.
Ooh, Reese has reacted there. Well, Reese stepped on the line, and he wasn't happy, and he reacted and shoved Darius Defoe. An unsportsmanlike foul has been called, I assume, on him. You can see he gets trapped in the corner. Watch his feet to see if he steps out of bounds as he goes back. Or was Defoe already out of bounds? Well, the referee was giving the possession to London, and you can see Defoe. Well, you just can't do that. And that is the 4th personal foul on Isaiah Reese as well. Well, knowing Darius, he might have just had a little word as he walked by, but it doesn't matter if he did or not. You have to leave that alone.
But when you've been playing 18 seasons, you know what to say to push those buttons. But for any new fans out there, this is the game that you want. This is the game of basketball. Play with passion. Both teams know what's on the line. You're in store for a great finish.
Well, Darius Defoe has just been given a warning. He looked like he was saying something. I thought initially it was to the crowd, but maybe it was to the Lions bench. The referee just trying to put a lid on things. So Eagles back up by a point. Here's Fletcher for 3. Knocks it down, and the unsportsmanlike costs them 4 points.
And Ramon Fletcher, when the game is on the line, he steps up, and what a big shot that is.
Reese looking to reply with 3 of his own off the mark, and Fletcher is first to it. Defoe tried to zip it through quickly, ended up passing it to Kelly. Here's Jordan Williams to Dirk Williams. Jordan Williams backing down, but Eagles defense standing firm.
That was good interior defense there from Duke Shelton. We've seen time and time again Jordan Williams with that easy left-hand hook shot. Good resistance from Duke Shelton.
Person gets through and lays it in.
Wow, he's done a great job there, because I thought he mishandled the basketball, but what that did do is give him that momentum to power dribble that was stepped through and away from the long extended arms of Kyler Kelly.
Well, it's getting very loud in here. Vince McCauley has called a timeout. The Eagles lead by 6 with 4.5 to play. And this is what they wanted. Get the crowd up. Get these fans going.
Absolutely. One of the best fan bases in the British Basketball League, with something to cheer about, which they haven't had much this season. Great signs for the Newcastle Eagles.
Well, Vince McCauley, in a long conversation with his assistants, he hasn't gone to the bench yet. He has now, but most of the timeout has evaporated away.
Well, we've seen Vince call timeouts before, Dan, and say absolutely nothing. Sometimes he just having that 90 seconds to piece yourself and compose yourself and think about the job at hand can sometimes be enough, because we're in a position now where London Lions, I think, are looking a little round, and you've got Isaiah Reese as well. If he makes that three-point shot, everyone is like, okay, great retaliation, but he doesn't, and he has his own personal battle there with a 18-year veteran. I think I knew who's going to come out on top there.
Well, it has been a fantastic atmosphere. And it's games like this that make you realise how much you missed out last year with no fans at all. This sort of atmosphere. Here's Reese. Down to Kelly. Misses close in. Lions get it back. Reese on his own and is able to score.
Oh, good persistence again, and second chance opportunity there for the Lions. Much needed 2 points to cut the gap to 4.
Here's Person. Fletcher. Person. Shot clock being counted down by the crowd. Fletcher, big shot for 3, a little flat, trying to get it away, but there's Shelton to jam it in.
Wow, they needed every single second of that shot clock, but everyone sort of stood still besides Duke Shelton, who comes up with the offensive rebound and dunks it back.
Well, I think Jordan Williams thought it didn't hit the ring. It looked like it hit the front of the rim and went straight down, which is why it wasn't a shot clock violation. Here's Reese, back iron. Defoe with the rebound. Person looking to push. Person kicks out to Sayers. Ooh, it's through the hands of Defoe. He's still got it. Fletcher spinning. Fletcher getting all the way. Dishes it off and hammered in by Jude Shelton.
Wow, and Ramon Fletcher's got a longer, stronger defender on him, but he uses the screen, penetrates inside, and dishes down to his dunking big.
15 assists now for Ramon Fletcher. Here's Reese for 3, and he misses that. And London look a bit discombobulated here with 3 to play.
They do, and you can see the unity of the team dispersing a little. Isaiah Reese trying to shoot his team back in the game. It hasn't worked, and Newcastle Eagles on the contrast. They look good in solidity here.
Sayers again, it's getting deep in the shot clock. Again, it goes to Fletcher. Sayers strings the long 2 on the shot clock buzzer.
Big 3 in the corner from Louis Sayers. Who better to distribute him that ball than Ramon Fletcher?
Offensive foul. Isaiah Reese is out of the game. Darius Defoe takes the charge.
Darius Defoe leading from the front. How many times do we say this? Big play after big play. Again, the veteran comes out on top.
And we said this last week, Ramon Fletcher, Darius Defoe trying to lead the troops, fell a little bit short. Who's back in front of that line? Number 13 and number 44, carrying the Newcastle Eagles on their back.
Well, Isaiah Reese fouling out, 23 points, 8 assists for him. They do have a pretty decent replacement coming into the game at the point guard position, though, is it fair to say?
They do, but this is his first introduction in the second half, Dan. He hasn't been used, and it's a difficult situation that I think he can deal with, but still, if he doesn't play well, you can look at the reasons why.
And it's tough. It's uncharted territory for Justin Robinson, the former 2-time MVP. It's a different role. You're coming off the bench. You're older. You're cold. Let's see if he can have an impact on this game late.
Oh, Eagles, the cry here as they look to extend a 10-point lead with 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Fletcher is fouled and he will shoot 2.
Eagles getting everything they want there. I think a tough call. Ramon Fletcher, I think, loses the handle of that ball, but his arm was clearly on Ramon Fletcher's hip.
Ramon Fletcher has tied his career high in the BBL with 16 assists, matching the 16 he got against Sheffield in 2019. Plenty for Coach McCauley to ponder here with 2 to play. This team trailing by 11. They need scores, they need stops, they need them quick. Here's Robinson, down to Kelly. Kelly is fouled and he'll go to the line.
That's a good introduction to the game though. Justin Robinson making the right play there, finding his big inside. Just a tad bit more composure needed there from Kelly to finish the play.
Kelly makes the first.
Let's be louder. Let's be prouder. Make some noise.
Tyler Kelly, a 65% free throw shooter in all competitions so far this year.
And he misses the second. Here's Shelton. Back to Person. Now into the hands of Fletcher. Let him make the decisions. His decision is to give it to Shelton, on to Defoe, and Defoe drops it in for 2.
Darius Defoe, huge play there. Shot clock winding down. Very little options, and he finishes the play.
Defoe takes another charge.
He's just protecting that rim. The intelligence, the IQ, the knowledge of Darius Defoe. Changing the game yet again.
Jordan Williams, his third. He's replaced by Dirk Williams. The Eagles 90 seconds away from their best win of the season. The Lions 90 seconds away from their first league defeat of the season. Fletcher. Fletcher on to Shelton, all blocked, no foul. Kelly fouled Shelton as he went to jam it down.
Well, I'm going to take a look at this one. I didn't think it was a foul initially, but great intent though from Shelton. Great block. Great block. Bad call and good block. But what I do like is Duke Shelton attacking the rim with aggression. I think that's where I think Brandon Peels and some other players have been a little bit tentative around the rim, knowing that Kyler Kelly was there. Duke Shelton gets rewarded for that.
And Fletcher gets his 17th assist on that made free throw. That is his best now, the most since Kyron Cartwright got 17 for Leicester in 2019.
Remember that, we called that game.
Cartwright actually got 19 2 weeks before that as well. Timeout called. 14-point Eagles lead with 1:17 to go. And ordinarily you'd say this one's in the books, but London with the three-point shooters that they have, it's not quite out of reach just yet.
No, it's not. You know, we've seen crazier things happen, but I think what the Newcastle Eagles have done is they've carved themselves an incredible position here to get out of this ball game with a win. 1 minute 17 seconds left. All they need to do is remain solid, remain smart, and they leave their home court building with a win.
And what a difference a week makes for the Newcastle Eagles. We were worried 5 minutes in, they'd given up 15 points. We were thinking this could be a big number here, but they've kept Lions to 80 points in 39 minutes.
Yeah, I was very concerned for them, and especially early on. And I think this game was literally one basket away from being a completely different script. But what the Eagles did is they stayed strong, they stayed together, and they were able to turn this game around, especially during that second quarter. It was an inspirational performance from guys like Ramon Fletcher, Darius Defoe, guys that we've been seeing do this year in, year out. And this new London Lions team is experiencing the wrath of those veteran players.
Oh, wide open. Kelly with the easy jam. Perfect play for the Lions. Took 1 second to get a score. Oh, they need a stop. They can't allow Newcastle to score any more points in this game. They don't want to commit a foul. And they commit a foul. And the reason they don't want to commit a foul is because you've let 14 seconds tick off the clock, and now you send them to the line.
Yeah, I think Washburn's pressure was so high there, he knew he was beat, so he fouled. But you're right, Dan, you don't want to do that. And that's something I would say I think needs to be better between Washburn and Kelly, because if Washburn's beat, he just directs him to Kelly, and Kelly's going to challenge that shot anyway.
Well, the one thing you know about coaches, they can always see a way to defeat from any position, and they will always coach it to the end. But with a 14-point lead and a minute to play, Newcastle right on the brink here. Here's Robinson, another alley-oop, another jam from Kelly.
It's to the point, Dan, where they do it like that. You're like, why did you not just keep doing that? It's so simple but effective.
Again, Newcastle looking to take as much time out of the game as they possibly can. Fletcher backs out. 25 points and 17 assists for number 44. And his pass is deflected away by Kujini. Here's Dirk Williams. He wanted the transition three. He ends up turning it over. Shelton driving hard, gives it to Fletcher. And Newcastle will take the air out of the ball, the time off the clock, and the fans will get to their feet here at the Virtual Motors Arena. They have seen a very impressive performance by their Newcastle Eagles. They have knocked off the London Lions here. They're going to take a 24-second violation, so the Lions will have to inbound it, but a great performance by Newcastle Eagles, led by the two stalwarts, Fletcher and Defoe, but with contributions from up and down the lineup.
That's why we love the British Basketball League, because of games like this, scripts like this, storylines like this. You're coming into this game. The Newcastle Eagles, to me, were the old punch-drunk boxer entering the ring to the up and coming stronger opponent. But boy did they flip that script on its head, and it all came from me in that second quarter. I think the second quarter they had big performances from Ramon Fletcher, from Darius Defoe, but what that did is it just injected confidence in everyone else. And if you remember, we spoke about the starting fives. It started with Wes Person, injected into the starting five. He was fearless, gave the team a quick early 7 points.
And Sayers as well, shot the ball really well. 6 of 7 for his 15 points. You can't get much more efficient than that.
No, it's like Sayers was watching the playoff final highlights from last year, because it's something clearly motivated him. I thought he was missing last week. Tonight, he was a game changer. Lewis Sayers, 15 points with some big shots.
And really the key for them, particularly in the first half, was the fast break points. 29 of them in the end, 19 points off turnovers. And that was what really kept them in the game early on, and then allowed them to pull away later on.
And it was their energy, Dan. It was the 50-50 balls the Newcastle Eagles won. They weren't doing anything and everything they could to disrupt this London Lions team from the defensive end, and that's something we haven't been able to say so much this year. But they were really good on the defensive end this year, but their attitude and their intent was so much more positive than last week. Now, conversely, London Lions really struggled, down 24 turnovers, and then they just looked out of sync, and Newcastle Eagles' pressure just confused them at times.
Well, here's a look at the numbers, and you mentioned the 24 turnovers. 15 steals is the key to that, because sometimes they throw the balls out of bounds, but if you're taking it off them, it allows you to get out and run.
Most positive stat there for the Newcastle Eagles. 36 assists. It tells me you're playing team basketball. It tells me people are getting involved and it's not just isolation one-on-one plays.
Certainly is, and an excellent performance from Ramon Fletcher. 25 points, a career high, 17 assists. Let's hear from him. He's with Drew.
Fletch, what a win, what a team performance. You guys seem to be locked in from the jump.
Yeah, this season has been up and down. We had injuries, we had COVID, we had things like that. So I think this was a statement win for us, but it's not going to win us the league. It's not going to win those trophies, but it is going to propel us in the right direction.
And your performance this early season has been talked about tonight. Sure. 25 points, a career high, 7 assists, 4 steals, and a 39 efficiency. What was your mindset coming into tonight's game?
I had to make a statement. For my standards, for myself, that I hold for myself, I don't think I've been playing the greatest. I haven't been playing terrible, don't get it twisted, but for my standards, I don't think I've been playing the greatest. So this game was one like I wanted to lock in, especially against a big-time team like this, and not against teams that they don't think as well. So when a team like this come in, I'm ready for it.
And after a win like this, what can be a season changer, how do you guys ride this momentum of tonight's win?
We got to put it in perspective. You know how the BBL is. We have a win like this and go on Sunday and maybe lay an egg, but that's something that we shouldn't do. That's going to be the focus coming in tomorrow. We got to have those conversations.
Great performance. Congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, really was a statement game from Fletch. A double-double, 25 points, 17 assists, and he grew into the performance, a big performance in the end, Kieran, after a frustrated start once again.
We were talking about his frustration he had at the start. To be able to step up, he's got a lot of fans here tonight, but to be able to step up and channel that in a positive way, that made all the difference. He led from start to finish, and that's the player we expect him to be.
How impressive is that? Coming into a game when everybody's talking game after game that he's struggling, he's not his usual self, and he puts up a performance like this.
You know what? We talk about Fletch. We know what he can do, and he is his biggest critic. He wasn't being playing to the standards he has been. He knows he's capable of, and he found a way to deliver. Like I said, that is a really, really tough thing to do. But if you're going to ask anyone to do it, it's going to be Fletcher.
Brilliant leadership from him, from Darius Defoe as well. Strong contributions from across the roster, and a fine overall team performance from the Newcastle Eagles. Their head coach is courtside now with Drew.
Coach, what a win. Who is this Newcastle Eagles team we saw tonight?
It's the team we want to be. And we talked about execution before the game. Probably the clearest game plan we've had in my 3 seasons with the club, and the guys really did a fantastic job of executing it and adjusting on the fly.
And talk about your team's defensive performance, which cost 24 turnovers.
A big thing we look for is how many stops in a row we can get. Every time we get 3 stops, we talk about kills. We had 8 kills tonight. That's huge. We're looking for 6 each game. And it's locking in. Darius Defoe with 2 charges in a matter of minutes. That's just huge. And, guys like Dan coming off the bench, just being wrecking balls, getting hands on the ball and things like that. They were big for us as well.
And talk about the performance from the old foes, Ramon Fletcher and Darius Defoe. How huge were they tonight?
Massive. I just heard there that Fletch wasn't his usual self. When I think 13.5 points and 8 assists isn't your usual self, that's a big compliment. I think he had something like 11 and 10 at halftime. So maybe he heard that and he took it on. But this is his preseason. He came in late. He's had 4 or 5 weeks now, or whatever it is. And the sky's the limit for this team. In fact, forget the sky. We've been on the moon. Let's go there. But we've got to deliver it each week. This means nothing if we don't validate it Sunday.
Congratulations, Coach. Huge win.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the intensity, because it was apparent throughout. Was that the fundamental key to Newcastle's win tonight?
Yes, I think I talk about being switched on. I've seen the intensity during the season, but they were switched on. That consistency with that intensity, that's a different ball game. We talk about earlier on at the start of the season, they had a lot of injuries. There was a lot up and down, people playing out of position at bigger minutes at times. It was really hard to keep that intensity. Now they've got no excuses. They're finding a way to do that, and I was really, really impressed with them for the 40 minutes tonight.
That is precisely what Coach Mack was asking for from his team tonight, wasn't it? It's what he called them out for last week, is what he mentioned to Drew pre-game, that attention to detail, that focus, and it was apparent from the get-go.
Yeah, and I like to say that Newcastle are disruptors. Last year they led the league in steals. There was a reason for that. They're getting deflection, the active hands. That's been missing in stages this season. So they got back to the basics tonight. Big steals. Like I said, if they were doing that every single week, they will be up there again. That's their identity. That's how they win games. That's how they turn defense into offense, and it's easy basketball then.
Brilliant stuff from the Eagles. Difficult night for the Lions. Let's hear from their head coach, Vince McCauley. He's courtside now with Drew.
Coach, tough loss tonight. Disappointed with the team's performance?
Disappointed with the loss. definitely. The performance, you know, this is where you learn about BBL basketball. You know, we have a lot of big heads with us, a lot of guys who played what they think is a higher level than the BBL. And, you know, when we go and win in Europe, and I say that I expect the Newcastle Eagles and the Leicester Riders to join us in some of these competitions, I'm serious about that. You know, and people think I'm joking. I'm not, because people underestimate our league. I mean, you know, no disrespect to Gino Crandell, because I love the guy. I said last year that Ramon Fletcher was the MVP. Look at him. He's the best player in our league right now. 25 points, 17 assists. He was responsible for 60 of the Newcastle Eagles points tonight. That's what you call a guy who knows how to lead his team.
And you guys have been flowing this season. How much did the 13 days off affect your team tonight?
Players, you know, you're an ex-player, so you won't take offense. Players love excuses, right? It's, oh, coach, we had 13 days off. Coach, we had 13 games in a row. There'll always be an excuse. I'm not listening to that. You know, 24 turnovers, poor performances in general, very unaggressive, very unlike a Lions team, actually, I would say. But, nah, you know, is this a wake-up call for us? I'm really hoping so, because last year we didn't have the personnel mentally who are going to recover from these kind of things. That's why we didn't do what we were supposed to do. This year is a test now, publicly, live on Sky Television. It's like, what are you going to come with next time?
And no time for the weary, as you guys have an incredible schedule ahead. What will be the message to the team in the locker room as you got to move on quickly from this loss?
It's a simple message. Play like this and you'll lose again on Sunday. Play like this and you'll lose in Turkey on Wednesday. I think it's as simple as that. And when players get out of their way and perform the way they can, then they'll show the best of themselves. And that's what I'll expect them to do on Sunday.
Tough love, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
A lot of really interesting things, as ever, from Vince. Let's talk about what he said regarding the character, or some of the characters in the locker room last year versus now, in terms of how they would respond to a defeat then versus now. We mentioned that at the top of the show, didn't we? This team seems to be built differently, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they respond to a defeat like this.
Well, I definitely think they're going to go watch the game back. Hold up. I think a lot of players are more accountable in this team. You know, they take those things personally and they look as a squad. You know, when you're kind of breaking down the individuals on those teams, you take collective responsibility. And I think that London Lions have that about them this year. You know, we said at the top of the show, you know, Vince looked very relaxed this season. Things have been going their way. Well, they've just been punched in the face. How are they now going to respond to that?
I want to ask you about the frequency of games, the fact they're battling on all fronts, and also combined with the delay, or rather the absence they've had from the court for virtually 2 weeks. Vince downplayed it then in the interview, but all of those things wrapped up together make it a big challenge, doesn't it?
I'm just going to set it straight. Players do. I'm obviously not a player. Players do like to make excuses.
You played a bit of your time, right?
Players do like to make excuses, but he's right. It's a lot of travel going on. You know, they're going to be in Turkey, they're going to be in Russia, long flights, long hours. That does play a toll. So it's been mentally focused. See if they can get back to their defence, doing all the little things. That's going to keep them in games. But they've got definitely takes a toll.
All right, let's take a look at a couple of the other players that really stepped up for Newcastle tonight, including Louis Sayers, of course, a player that we know can absolutely go off offensively. And that's exactly what he did tonight, Kieran. Landed, at one point he was shooting at 100%, landed some crucial threes, and at the right time, the clutch moments came up trumps.
Big shots. He's always in the right spot. You know, he's always getting to his spot. You know he's going to get to the corners. But I think the thing that set him off today was those fast break layups to get going. That makes a huge difference. When you see the ball go through the net, gets your confidence going. But wide open shots, Fletch does all the hard work. You know, he'll get you to your spot, deliver it to you on the plate. All you have to do is execute, and that's what he did tonight.
Fletch was absolutely everywhere, wasn't he, Drew Lasker? As well as our MVP, also involved in our play of the day. Here he is doing what he was doing all night long, dishing it up to Shelton. There we go, man. Brilliant stuff. What do you make overall? You're chatting to your old teammate Fletch just then. What do you make of this performance tonight, Drew?
I mean, firstly, will the real Newcastle Eagles stand up? And then will the real Ramon Fletcher stand up? And he talked about that at post-game. He knows he hasn't been playing on the level that he's accustomed to. And he led from the front, starting with those little plays. And it paid off for the Newcastle Eagles.
What will the Eagles take from tonight's performance?
That if they come out and they have the attention to detail from start to beginning, they win the 50-50 battle. And this is nothing about philosophy. It's just about coming out with energy, playing hard from top to bottom. You can win games like this against top opponents.
bright spark for the London Lions. I think it's fair to say Isaiah Reese maybe not living up to the form he has been for the majority of the season. We still saw some good stuff from him tonight, didn't we?
He's an exceptional player. Like that, that's NBA range 3-point step back there. He found a way to get to the basket. He distributed the ball really well. He plays really under control. His Achilles heel. I talk about Achilles heel. He's still making some poor decisions, and those turnovers are happening during the season. Once he gets that down pack, he's going to be an elite player.
Do you get the sense that he is still getting used to the BBL and its idiosyncrasies?
Yeah, absolutely. When you have a pedigree as a Isaiah Reese and you're playing off in Europe and then all of a sudden you're coming to the British Basketball League, you can have a tendency to take your foot off the pedal. But you learn as of tonight that everybody's going to bring you their best shot and you can't take any opponent for granted.
His teammate and compatriot Julian Washburn mic'd up for us tonight, as was one of the officials, Chris Dodds. Let's hear how the game sounded from their perspective.
Watch. Screen. We can switch. Oh. Go. Not unite. I'm saying we still got to find you unless we got the advantage, you know what I mean? But 1 through 4. Well, yeah, it's easy. Oh!
I'm not fast anymore, but I'm experienced, yeah? But the thing is, we've got it covered as a team, okay? Yeah. And now 6 points, 4.5 minutes. Yeah. We can't take our eyes off anything. Yeah. White have got behaviour warning, Black have got behaviour warning. 25 and 13 are both on unsportsmanlike fouls. Yep. This game has got a long way to go. Correct. A long way to go. We've got to try and be error-free now, okay?
You go white.
Yeah.
You go back to the basket.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff, as ever, from sounds of the game. Let's check in on the rest of the BBL matchups tonight. Kieran Achari, you might want to look away right now. Mike Tuck and his Sheffield Sharks pick up another win, 62-51. They take down Plymouth. Bristol beat Surrey, 80-71. Our game, of course, was a comprehensive win in the end for the Newcastle Eagles. How about that? And speaking of comprehensive wins, Kieran, 105-76, the Rocks going down. Disappointed given how well the Rocks have been playing this season.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some excuses there. No, it's very disappointing. I'm very disappointed at this moment. I didn't even know the score. I hadn't been following the game, so thanks for throwing that on there right there.
You did throw it right on. You didn't even saw that graphic. All right, then. Well, they have time to pick it up because the Glasgow Rocks coming up pretty soon on this show. In fact, there's lots of basketball coming your way over the next couple of weeks.
Stolen away again by the Giants, and look at Clark out in front with the jam. Drives in, drops it off to Mo, jams it in.
When I say the Rocks are coming up pretty soon, that is our next live game here on Sky Sports. The Manchester Giants are up in Manchester for the Giants Rocks as usual. On air from 7 o'clock, 7:30 tip. Two dangerous sides. We'll overlook tonight's result for the Rocks. Really looking forward to seeing that one. Drew Lasker, you can take your hand well away from the red button. Things are looking up there, certainly for the Eagles after that brilliant performance. My thanks to both of you. Hope you've enjoyed a free-wheeling game at home. More where that came from. We'll see you next time.
Let the beat drop. See me in the party, baby, give me your chance, and everybody